Welcome to the Raisina Dialogue 2024 Ideas Pod with Uriah Blanar, the Foreign and European Affairs Minister for Slovakia. Welcome, Your Excellency.
Thank you for having me here.
Mr. Minister, you have advocated a very strong, independent, and some commentators argue a very practical foreign policy for Slovakia. Your views?
It's very simple. The foreign policy is very important, not for the foreigners first, but for the citizens of the country. That's why you have to have very sovereign policy, which can help the country and the people itself. That's very important. We are the member of European Union. We are the member of NATO. We are the member of UN and OECD and so on and so on. But that doesn't mean that you cannot have a sovereign opinion. You know, we have experience when the unified opinion was only during the social order. We used to be under the Soviet, But we don't want to continue in this. Like sometimes we feel that from the western part of Europe to put on the table only unified opinion. So that's why I think it's normal to be very sovereign and to discuss some topic a little bit differently. But of course, we share common values and we want to achieve more or less the same goals, but probably the different way.
Yeah, picking up on that, the Visegrad Four, many commentators have argued, have played a very important role in front-ending the European response to the Ukraine crisis, and some commentators even said perhaps the transatlantic response. But increasingly, we see certain divergences within the V4, particularly when it comes to Ukraine. How do you envision the future of the V4 to be within the grander European political schema?
You know, V4 is very unique group of neighboring countries, which is lasting for 33 years, by the way. It's come from ex-Czechoslovakia because it was established as the V3 from the beginning. After splitting as Czechoslovakia, we have V4. And this V4 group is for the practical policy, not only in the middle of the Europe, but also as a member of the European Union. That means that we stick together when we have the common opinion on some certain topic, We come together when we agree in something. If we don't agree, so we let it go. So each country solve this problem separately. This is the strongest position of V4. As you mentioned that there is some disturbances regarding of Ukraine crisis within the V4. Of course, there is a right example. We think that having this crisis in Ukraine for 2 years, because tomorrow is going to be the second anniversary of this aggression from the Russian Federation, has no military solution. But others think that we have to fight at the end of this victory of Ukraine, but the frontiers stops and doesn't move from one to another part. So that's why we call for any peace-making process, any ceasefire, and not only from our level, but also from the European Union level, because originally European Union was founded on the peace foundation, That's why we should do something in this matter, because otherwise many casualties will be in the future and nothing can change. That's why our sovereign position is a little bit different in contrast to our partners from the European Union and the official representation of European Union. We don't deliver any weapon to Ukraine anymore from the warehouses of our forces, because we think that there is no reason to do it, because it doesn't help this solution, any ceasefire or peacemaking process. Of course, we support Ukraine humanitarian. We support Ukraine to develop them non-lethal equipment like demining equipment, where Slovakia is very strong in producing this machine, and so on and so on. But another position regarding, for example, sanctions against the Russian is also different, because looks like that the sanction impacts more the European country than Russia. Yeah. That is what we want to express as a sovereign position of our foreign policy as a Slovak Republic.
Mr. Minister, the European Parliament elections are due later this year. So what is the voter sentiment like in Europe? What do you think are going to be the issues that will dominate these elections? And how should Europe's partners overseas prepare themselves for a change in sentiment in Brussels?
First of all, my attitude is that we don't comment any other countries because it's their business, what they are doing or how they are preparing. What we want to have a very strong dialogue and discussion among every countries. But regarding of European Parliament election, I can tell you that there is our criticism from our side that the representation of European Union is not very smart nowadays. Not only because of behavior of Ukraine, but also behavior and some action or not action regarding of illegal migration. This is a big issue also in our country. We are a member of so-called Schengen. There is a protection border, and you can in this area you can travel without any restriction and so on. It's very good and very famous value for every citizen of European Union, even for Slovak people. But the migration is still the topic because we have the penetration through this Schengen, and there is no good policy and let's say compromise policy from the representation of European Commission, especially because European Union itself is a unique project. As I said before, this project was based on a peace foundation. And that's why we are living in a peace for almost 80 years, And sometimes I feel that we take it for granted to live in a peace, That's why we have to care about this, look after about this project, which is very unique. And we think this is our environment as a Slovakia for doing a policy, for doing a business and so on. But we have to be very careful not to do any mistakes like the present European Commission. And that could be the dominator of the future election to a European Parliament. And probably the representation and majority can change slightly to these the voices which are against the policy, official policy of European Commission in illegal migration.
Mr. Minister, the Indo-Pacific has emerged as a very important economic and political arena and an idea. Many countries have articulated Indo-Pacific strategy, including one of the members of the V4. What is Slovakia's approach to the Indo-Pacific and within the larger Indo-Pacific to India?
Indo-Pacific area is one of the most accelerating area regarding of growth. And our policy is very focused on Indo-Pacific area. We even put it into government manifesto that our orientation of economical diplomacy will be not only on the, let's say, usual business we do, but Indo-Pacific is the one of the most important. That's why I came here to India with the biggest business delegation ever in our history. 22 enterprises and businessmen came here to do the business. We have the history with India not only due to the Slovak Republic as an independent country for 30 years, but also from the ex-Czechoslovakia, because we delivered the tanks as a defense industry to India. Now we are servicing this. Many companies are doing business already in India in meteorology, for example, or biofuel, or another like cyber protection and so on. We want to emphasize this cooperation together. And on the other hand, we would like to help India to finish as soon as possible on the European Union dialogue with India, with the free trade agreement, also with the investment protection agreement, and also about the geographical indicators. Because once we have the free trade agreement between the India and the European Union, the Slovakia will benefit very much from it. Because, as I mentioned already, Slovakia is the number one in production of passenger car per capita. We produce more than 1 million of passenger car, and it will be even a higher number of these. And automotive industry in India is part of this production as well, like Tata, because we have a big investment of Indian investment, Jaguar Land Rover in our country. So very broad area for our cooperation. We, within the last 2 years, doubled our turnover, which is roughly 900 million euro, and we would like to achieve 1 billion and even more. And there is a lot of potential to do it.
Mr. Minister, there is a lot of concern regarding the robustness, the resilience, and the security of the global technology supply chains. What's the thinking in Europe to de-risk it, and what role do you think India could play in that regard?
As I already mentioned, that India is going to be a very remarkable, strong player, not only in Indo-Pacific, but also in the globe. What I can mention is that tremendous and great achievement of India as a presidency country within the G20. To bring African Union to the table was a great achievement, because we have to do something with Africa. Because sometimes I feel that we are talking about the Africa, but we have to help them somehow. And this is a good achievement from the India. That's why we really support everything regarding of your activities. And Slovakia will be, I hope, one of the good partners of India in this matter.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for your discussion, and we hope you have a good stay in India.
Yeah, I was enjoying stay here. It was very fruitful for us, as I mentioned, because one last remark, we also attended the CII conference, Trade and Business Sustainability Conclave, and also we had the B2B negotiation with the businessmen from India. So thank you very much for inviting me here.
Thank you. His Excellency Uriah Blanar, the Minister of Foreign and European Affairs of Slovakia. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.